whose glory taught the stars to shine. Perhaps creation longs to have the words to sing, but this joy is mine. With 1,000 hallelujahs, we magnify your name. You alone deserve the glory, the honor, and the praise. Lord Jesus, this song is forever yours. 1,000 hallelujahs and 1,000 more. Who else would die for our redemption? Whose resurrection means a rise? There isn't time enough to sing of all you've done, but I have eternity to try. With 1,000 hallelujahs, we magnify your name. You alone deserve
Hey,
glory.
welcome. Good to see everybody here tonight. And this is so amazing. I want to just read this to you. They tried to scam me yesterday. Pastor Matt Malott. So I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read this, but I could not believe it at first. So I get this text, and it says, "Hello, Gary. Is this a good time to ask you for a favor? Return my text, Pastor Matt Malott." And so I texted right back, "Sure." And I'm thinking, Pastor Matt Malott, he never uses pastor. So then here, would you be able to cover for me today? I need to get an Apple gift card for some woman battling cancer in the hospital, but I can't do that right now because on my busy schedule. Can you please get it at a nearby store now? I will reimburse you. Thanks. So I called Matt. I said, "Are you just messing with me?" And he says, "I don't know what you're talking about." So then I read him this text and he said, "It's a scam." And then we find out that his next door neighbor had received an email. They tried to scam him using Matt as well, and then another friend of Matt's. So if you get a text or an email from Matt asking for a gift card, it's a scam. It's not Matt, especially Pastor Matt Malott. That's a dead giveaway. And other than that, they misspelled gift, and Matt would not misspell any words. So those are just some of the things that I wanted to share with you. And then I have one other thing that I was sharing with Charlie here. I just got to get to it. I got to get out of text and get to emails. Now, I find it also a little bit of irony here is that Matt's been talking about scams with Jacob and Isaac and Laban and everything, and how that was family members. So I did a Google search. And so my small groups, I send them questions, and the question that I sent out to them for this week, number 3, was, did you notice that Jacob received a family member and Jacob deceived a family member and a family member deceived him? A study was done in 2019 by the University of Southern California Health Sciences showed older adults were scammed by family members more often than scams by strangers.
Now, this I knew about this. What I suggest that you do when we get done tonight, call your kids, tell them, I gave all my money to the church. I am absolutely broke. Don't come to me for a penny. And that'll put an end to that.
Yes, Fred.
Is that your prison shirt?
Yes. Actually, it's my referee shirt, and you're out of bounds. Listen, I've known Charlie for over a year, and every time I've been with him, he has never ceased to amaze me on his knowledge of so many topics. But one of the best topics is what he knows about scams, about the things that they try to do to us as senior citizens, senior adults. And I'm aghast, to be honest with you, that they want to pick on us. I mean, it just blows my mind away. And I bring Charlie here and introduce him. Charlie Canter is his name. He is a tremendous friend, and he's from New York, and I'm sure he's going to share some of the things about his life. And I asked him, the first time I met him, I said, Charlie, how did you get into doing a seminar about being scammed? And his answer was, I got scammed.
I got scammed.
So here's Charlie Canter. Give him a New Life welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure we all know someone or know of someone who's been scammed. And I also think that that you get two thoughts that go through your head. First thought, I really feel sorry for that person. You don't like to see anybody get cheated or get hurt. The second thought that goes through your head, and I will guarantee you this, how could anybody be so dumb as to fall for something like that? Well, before you break your arm patting yourself on the back, let me remind you, the people that Bernie Madoff scammed out of more than $12 billion over a 20-year period were not stupid people. They were just as smart as you and I, and probably a whole lot smarter than I am. Anybody under the right circumstances can get scammed. Under any circumstances, anybody. All right, let me give you a brief history of seniors. Seniors versus Crime was set up back in 1989, because then, just like now, we seniors are a prime target for the bad guys. And the reasons are very, very simple. Remember back in the 1950s, 70 years ago, there was a bank robber named Willie Sutton. Now, when the FBI finally caught up with Willie, the story goes, they asked him, Willie, why do you rob banks? To which Willie supposedly replied, because that's where the money is. Well, boys and girls, we seniors is where the money is. 80% of all the individual wealth in this country is controlled by seniors. Now think about it. When we were younger, we saved. We saved to pay the rent, to pay the mortgage. We saved for retirement. We saved to send the kids to college. In my case, I saved to pay off a divorce attorney, but that's another story. Anyhow, now that we're older, every month we get our Social Security checks, our pension checks, our annuity checks, our dividend checks, like clockwork. Every month, the money comes rolling in. And we make it easy for the bad guys. We are probably the last truly trusting generation. I know where I grew up in the Bronx, I had a friend of mine named Frank. Now, Frank worked in a warehouse, and Frank was able to get, shall we say, really steep discounts on things that fell off the truck. Anyway, one time I needed a TV for my mother. I said, Frank, I need a TV. And we agreed on a price, we agreed on a model. Now, I knew if I gave Frank the money, he's going to give me the TV. Frank knew if he gave me the TV, he's going to get his money. And we both knew that if one of us welched on our part of the agreement, they're likely to have an accident. As kids, we were taught by our parents, never interrupt somebody while they're speaking. Well, unfortunately, we remember that to this day. You're sitting at home, either watching TV or eating dinner, and the phone rings, and you hear, hi, my name is Michael, I'm with Medicare Supplies. Now, you know, hi, I'm with Michael is going to try to either sell you something that you don't need or try to send you a brace or something and ask for your Medicare number. You know within the first 3 seconds, don't waste your time. Hang up. Unfortunately, too many of our seniors listen to the whole pitch and then meekly say, gee, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. When you hear, hi, I am, whatever it is, hit end, hang up the phone. If you're in a really, pardon the expression, devilish mood, let them go through the whole pitch. At the end, ask them, do you take credit cards? Now, remember the old cash registers when you rang it up? Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. On Michael's end of the phone, he's going to go ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. All right, let me get my credit card. Put the phone down, go inside, watch TV, go to the store. When you come back, Michael will be gone. And if we do get scammed, and it happens to the best of us, we're often too embarrassed to say anything. If you get conned, please tell the people you know so it doesn't happen to them. Now, I am not an attorney. I never played an attorney on TV or in the movies. But I'm going to give you a very brief legal lesson. In the state of Florida, it's not a crime for somebody to lie to you about their experience, their education, the materials they're going to use, their warranty. It's not a crime. It's not nice, but it's not a crime. Now, having said that, most of the people we deal with are honest, hardworking folks. They want to do a good job. They want repeat business. They want references. But anytime money is involved, problems occur. And when that happens, you have three choices. You can go into small claims court. In Sumter County, if you go into small claims court, it's going to cost you upwards of $400 in fees and everything else. And if you win, the judge doesn't give you cash or a check. You get a piece of paper. Congratulations, you won. Go collect the money. You can get an attorney. Now, as we all know, there are no poor attorneys. There are bad attorneys, my divorce lawyer, but there are no poor attorneys. Thirdly, you can come to us, Seniors versus Crime. Why do you want to come to us? Well, number one, as the name implies, we're all seniors. We talk the same language, we understand each other, we share the same values. We're all volunteers. Nobody has any agendas, nobody gets paid. They do give me a shirt, and they do pay me 50 cents a mile. And our services are always free. There's never a charge for what we do. Now, we do not have law enforcement authority. We are mediators and negotiators. So if someone has a problem, we try to work it out. However, if we find that we are getting too many complaints from about an individual, we will turn it over to local law enforcement, and they will do what they have to do. Now, let's get into the nearest offices to here, the Wildwood office in Brownwood, near the movie theater, and the Sumter County office on 466 in Morse. Let's get into some scams. Each year, millions of Americans lose billions of dollars to identity thieves. And while it's not possible to stop it all, there are things you can do to protect yourself. First of all, check your bank statements, check your credit card statements. If you see something on there that doesn't look right, notify the bank, notify the credit card company. Never, ever give out personal information to somebody that you don't know, especially if they call you up on the phone or you get an email. Now, every year, we're entitled to a free credit report from the three credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Call them up every 4 months. Get a credit report. If something on there doesn't look right, notify the credit reporting bureaus and get the matter straightened out. Now, if you do become a victim, and it does happen, there are things you can do. First of all, file a police report. That's the first thing you should do. Notify your bank and your credit cards. Notify the credit bureaus. Change all of your passwords, all of your IDs, and read this. Everybody should get a copy of it. It's very informative. If you didn't have one, there are more out in the back. It's very informative. It will save you money and save you aggravation. Now, let's take some of the more common scams. We all have grandchildren. About 6 months ago, I got a call from my granddaughter. Grandpa, what's the matter, dear? Oh, I was in an accident and it was my fault. And the man said, if I give him $400, he's not going to call the police. Call your father. All right, he'll kill me if I call him. What do you want me to do? Got one of those little money cards, and I'll call you back in an hour. Rach, do me a favor. Call your grandmother. I gave her every penny that I had in the divorce. If you get a call like that, 99.9% of the time, it's a fake. Call me back in an hour. Hang up the phone. Call the kid's parent. I will guarantee you the kid is home, the kid is safe. It is a scam. Now, I got a call like that about 30 years ago from my son, who happened to be picked up in a bar in Albany, underage, by the sheriff. And he called me, he said, Dad, listen, we got picked up by the sheriff here, and they want to lock us up. I said, all right, hang on. Anyway, I called up a friend of mine who's an attorney. He knew the sheriff up there, case closed. Point is, if you get a call like that, it is a scam. You ever hear of Craigslist? Well, I had a neighbor of mine was selling a car on Craigslist. I think he was asking $11,000. Got a call, I'm interested in buying your car. And they discussed everything. And the guy said, all right, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to send a friend of mine down with a check. Give him you take the check, give him the car. Okay. Check comes down. My friend looks at it. I said, Bobby, there's something wrong with the check. First of all, it was for more than he was asking. The problem with this, I looked at the check. I said, Bob, the check does not look right. Go to the bank, tell them, run the numbers, see if that's an actual bank, see if that's an actual account, and see if there's money in the account. Well, turns out, fictitious bank, fictitious routing numbers, fake. Had my neighbor done what he was asked of him, he would have lost his car, he would have lost the $12,000, plus whatever the bank was going to charge him. If you sell something on Craigslist, make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. Don't give away the merchandise till the check clears. If possible, get cash. Now, every year we get calls from charities. And the call usually begins something like, hi, this is so-and-so. I'm calling on behalf of, pick your favorite charity. When you hear the words, I'm calling on behalf of, or I'm calling for, that individual is a professional fundraiser. He is legally allowed to keep 88 cents of every dollar he gets. So if you get a call saying I'm calling on behalf of, or I'm calling for, just ask the person, are you a fundraiser? They're going to say yes. I'll donate directly to the charity myself. It's legal, but your money is not going to the charity. Your money is going to a fundraiser. Did you ever get an email or a phone call from Microsoft informing you that their records show that your computer is running slowly? Click on to the following site called AnyDesk. We will take your computer, we will speed it up for you. Do not do that. AnyDesk allows them to get into your computer and steal any information that you have. If your computer is running slow, Microsoft or Apple has no idea. If it's running slow, you can go to Best Buy, go to Geek Squad. They charge, but from what I understand, they're pretty good. If you happen to live in the Villages Computer Club has a service. They will help you out. But under no circumstances do you click a link that you're not familiar with. Ever get a call from the IRS? Yeah. Hi, I'm Agent blah, blah, blah. You owe us $4,000 from 3 years ago. No, I paid my taxes. I have it right here in front of me. You can't, my son's a CPA, he does my tax. I don't care. Either you're going to pay us now, or we're going to stop your Social Security checks, we're going to seize your Medicare. IRS will never, ever call you unless you call them first, or unless they've tried to contact you numerous times by mail and you don't respond. Then they will call you to set up an appointment. If by some chance you owe the IRS a lot of money, I mean a one followed by a whole string of zeros, and you're not paying them, what will happen is about 2 o'clock in the morning, you're going to hear. And when you go to your front door, you will see two of the largest human beings you have ever seen in your life. So if you owe money to government, pay it. If you get a call from the IRS, it is a scam. Same thing goes with Medicaid, with Social Security. I've gotten calls telling me my Social Security card was used fraudulently in Houston, Texas. We want to verify that your Social Security number is correct. Nope, 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 nope. Social Security will not call you. If there's a problem, they will notify you by mail, unless you've called them and you want to get back to them. Now, most Medicare fraud involves Medicare suppliers, where suppliers will overcharge Medicare or charge for services never rendered. So every month, when you get your Medicare statement or your insurance statement, look over it. If there's something on there that doesn't look right, first contact the provider. If you don't get a legitimate answer, something that satisfies you, call Medicare. Seniors are more than twice as likely to buy online as the general population. Now, if you get calls or an email with the following words on it: "You've been selected." You know what that means? It means you're alive, you've got a phone, or you've got a computer. You've been selected. Another one is free trial. Legitimate. If you're interested in what they're selling, find out how long the free trial lasts for. Find out what the price of the merchandise is after the free trial ends. Along with free trial is price for a limited time only. I've seen things on television for the last 10 years for a limited time only. Again, find out what the price was prior, find out what the price will be in the future, and find out how long the limited time is. Another good one is just pay shipping and handling, or just pay a small fee. Well, sometimes the just pay shipping and handling or the small fee costs more than the merchandise itself. Find out ahead of time what the fee is. Ask questions. And my favorite of all of them is diet supplies, where it says, along with diet and exercise, use our product. If I dieted and I did exercise every day, I don't need your product. Now, we all know that the price of prescription drugs is insane. It's going through the roof. Now, there are ads in the paper. We get ads on the computer. We get ads on our emails advertising prescription drugs at cut-rate prices. Before you buy anything online, any kind of prescription drug, number one, make sure that the person who's selling them to you is licensed in the state of Florida. If they're willing to sell you prescription drugs without a written prescription from the doctor, run. No legal prescription provider will sell you stuff without a prescription. Now, the other part of that problem is very often the medication in these prescriptions that you buy online, it's either wrong, it's expired, the ingredients or the fillers are all out of whack. Be very, very careful buying prescriptions online. Canadian drug pharmacy is legitimate. You got to jump through hoops to get it. But if you have to, that's where you go. Ladies, you ever buy makeup over the computer or over the phone, the TV? My wife did. Great thing. We'll send you this, $90. If you don't like it, you don't have to order again. Well, she didn't read the small print, so the first time the makeup came in, $90 she paid. A month later, box came again, another $90 on a credit card. When you buy like that, please find out ahead of time how you, if it's an automatic renewal, find out how you cancel, find out how you return the merchandise. And if you are going to buy like that, the safest way to buy is using those little green prepaid credit cards. If there's a problem, you can only get stuck for the value of the cards. You can also use a credit card. If there's a problem, the credit card companies will back you up. And again, if you order online, check You just check your statements. If there's anything wrong, flag it, notify the bank. Now, let's talk about contractors. If you have a large construction job around the house that requires a contractor, there are things that they have to do for you. If they need permits, make sure the contractor gets them. If a contractor says to you, I'm really busy, can you go get the permits for me? That means this guy is not licensed, there's something wrong. If he can't get the permits, don't deal with him. Get everything in writing. Get a written estimate. Find out when he's going to start, when he's going to finish, the materials he's going to use. What happens if he can't make good on it? Make sure they have liability insurance and workers' comp insurance. If they don't have those kinds of insurance and one of their workers has an accident on your property, they're going to come after you and your house. Now, let's assume you have a big job done, the work is done, everything is complete, and the contractor says, okay, give me the last of my money. Don't do it until, number one, you're satisfied the work is complete, the place is cleaned up, and at the last thing you do before you give them a check, you get what's known as a lien release. Lien release says to anybody, I've paid the contractor for the merchandise. Because if, let's say, the contractor went to Lowe's and bought material and didn't pay him, all Lowe's knows, they brought it to your house. They're going to come after you for the money. Get the lien release because that protects you. You ever see the trucks of the landscapers? It says licensed and insured. Licensed and insured can mean I have a driver's license, and when I got my plates, I had insurance. So again, if you're going to hire a landscaper, make sure they have the license, their insurance, make sure they have liability and workers' comp. Now, years ago, I had a landscaper come to the house. And he said to me, what are you paying to get your lawn cut? It's $50. I'll tell you what, I can do it for 45. Oh, all right. But if you pay me 3 months in advance, I'll do it for 40. I'm from the Bronx, from New York. These things are important to me. If you pay me 6 months in advance, I'll do it for 35. Well, what happens very often, you pay the guy in advance, he shows up once, cuts the grass. Shows up twice, cuts the grass. Doesn't show up the third time. You call. Well, my car broke down. I'll be there in a week. My cousin's in jail. I got to go bail him out. Be there in a week. After 4 or 5 calls, the mailbox is full. The number's been discontinued. Don't pay in advance, ever. Now, there are certain landscape people that need licenses and some don't. The guy that cuts the bushes, trims the trees, does not need a license. If they put down fertilizer, herbicides, or insecticides, they must have a license. Make sure that you see it. If you don't see it, get somebody else. Okay, now you've been nice to listen to me. I'm going to wrap this up. In conclusion, first, before you hire anybody to do anything, call one of our offices. Say, I'm interested in hiring such and such a company. What can you tell me? We will check our database and let you know if we have any complaints in the last 5 years and how many. We can't give you details. But if we tell you there are 1 or 2 complaints, no business is perfect. If we tell you there's 20 complaints, find somebody else, call us again. Keep calling us. We will keep checking them out. Next, get everything in writing. If it's not in writing, it never happened. Shred everything. If it's got your name on it, you know that the mailboxes, they have the people throw garbage in there? Don't. If it's got anything has your name on it, your address on it, shred it. The bad guys, they can get all sorts of information off that. And now, last but not least, and I leave you with the following thoughts. There is no Santa Claus. There is no Easter Bunny. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. Now, I'll be very happy to take questions. If I can answer them, I will. If I can't answer them, I will try to make something up. If you don't buy that, I'll take your name and your phone number. I will get you an answer from somebody much smarter than I am. Thank you. Yes, sir.
If you have a question, if you raise your hand, we'll bring you a mic.
Okay. You call somebody or you go online looking for a product and you like what you see and you deal with it. They give you a customer service person and you decide to buy something and then they ask you for your credit card number. Is that normally okay?
That's normally what they do, but what I would suggest, prior to even calling them, if you have a company, Google the company. Make sure it's a legitimate company. Make sure they have a brick and mortar address. If all they've got is a post office box, I wouldn't deal with them. But it's normal. If you buy from somebody, they'll ask you for a credit card. But now, when the bill comes in, make sure it's for the amount that you paid for. Yes, sir.
How do we contact you for the calls? Is there a phone number in this paperwork?
In the booklet, it may be pink, yellow. There are 4 offices. Call any one of those offices when they're open. Tell them that you're dealing with a company. They will be more than happy to check it out. Yes, ma'am.
Back here.
Yes, sir.
On our credit card, there is a security code.
Yes.
My understanding is that its purpose is for security, but yet any place that wants your credit card, they also want your security code.
Yes, they want that number because when they run it through their system, your account number has to match up with the security code. That's perfectly okay.
Okay, thank you.
Margaret from Margarita Drive.
I understand why you should shred something if it would have your account number or whatever, but just your name and address, they can find that in the phone book.
That's right, but once they've got that, they got a place to start with. If they don't have, if they can find it in the phone book, but if they find a document with your name and address on it, from there and their store, they can steal your identities. How they do it, beyond my scope. But if it's got your name on it, shred it, just to be safe. Yes.
Okay, I was reading in this paper today that came out to each of the homes that they are now scamming as far as mortgages in their house that they
Yes.
can actually.
Yeah, they can somehow, I'm not sure exactly how it's done, they can get your mortgage information and then forge your signature and literally
notary,
sell your house from under you. Now, so you can, if you live in Sumter County or Lake County, call the clerk of the courts or the county clerk. Tell them that you want to register. And what will happen is, I believe Lake County will notify you if somebody accesses your account, your records. In Sumter, I believe you have to check it periodically. But if you call the clerk of the courts and sign up, you'll have some measure of protection.
Register.
Pardon? They say, okay, something notifies you.
I have a very specific question about this hold harmless agreement, direct payment authorization, and assignment of benefits. I didn't sign it, but somebody I know did, had no idea what he was signing. Got a copy 8 months after he signed it, and now is going through this whole mess.
Needs an attorney.
No.
No?
The person that signed this is sitting right here.
Right.
He's a homeowner in the
Right.
villages.
Okay.
Once, he didn't understand what he was signing.
Right, I understand that.
It was not explained. My specific question is, there's nothing that can be done
That's
once
what
you...
I'm saying. I don't know. My
Oh.
suggestion is contact an attorney, explain what happened, let an attorney tell you what to do. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
I mean, there's been a settlement statement and everything. I didn't know if you're locked into it permanent.
Again,
You don't know?
way above my
Okay.
pay grade.
Got it.
One second. No, she's going to bring you a mic. I don't need a mic. You're going to have a mic. Everybody gets a mic.
Give me something, Jill.
Is seniors versus crime nation.
Is it what?
I know, he turned me down. Is seniors versus crime nationwide?
No, not to my knowledge. We're all over the state of Florida. Now, there may be other states that have similar organizations, but Seniors versus Crime, as I know it, is in the state of Florida.
Good question.
Any other questions? Okay, one second.
Okay, I don't actually have a question, but I've been to a couple different seminars like this, and there's just two things that I'd like to add that are super valuable to me.
Add on.
First is, as seniors, we all know that the doctor asks for your Social Security number. Your Medicare number used to be your Social Security number. It is not anymore. They never take that off the forms. When they say, what's your Social Security number, say, I would rather not provide that. You do not have to put your Social Security number down on your medical forms. That's one. The other one is I learned that you can lock all of your credit reports so that nobody can go in and try to apply for something or whatever. And in a moment's notice, you can go back in and unlock it if you need to apply for something and then lock it again.
I believe the information on that is in the booklets that I've given out.
Do you get many complaints about what I'll call the Lonely Heart scam or the immigration scam where send me money and your new fiance will be
We do
sent to you?
get some complaints about the Lonely Heart scam. We had one woman, her neighbor came in about 2 years ago. She met somebody online, and they were in love with her, and he was going to come from Europe, and all of a sudden, he needed some money. Well, the woman kept sending her money, and her neighbors were concerned because she wasn't that rich. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. Once she sent that money, it's gone. And her neighbors couldn't convince her that it was a scam. In the end, I think the woman lost the whole, all of her money, unfortunately. And as far as the immigration thing goes, we have one woman in the Sumter County office that deals specifically with that. She's very knowledgeable. Again, above my pay grade. Yes, sir.
Just for everyone's information, one of the bigger scams going through the villages is the roofing scam, where I believe in the state of Florida, if you have 25% of your roof damaged, and I had wind damage on my roof, I called in a roofer who I thought was legitimate, and they said, oh, well, you have more than 25%. I can get you a new roof free. Just sign here. Thankfully, my next door neighbor was an insurance adjuster. And he says, Dennis, he says, did you sign where you sign over the benefits, like the lady was talking about up there, over to the...
An assignment.
Yes. And honestly, I did not know. And come to find out that that's exactly what I did, but you have 3 days to nullify that contract, which I did, thankfully, within the 3-day period. And, I didn't have any payments out or any job done by that roofer. But that roofing scam has really gone through the villages and continues to today, as I understand it anyway.
Should have called us first.
Charlie,
Yes, sir.
the last time that I heard you give this seminar, you addressed the issue of water softener scams.
Okay.
Would you address that?
Sure. Years ago, a man came to the house, knocked on the door. He was selling water softeners. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. I got a postcard. Florida Water Authority. Sign here, we'll check your water, and we'll give you a $50 gift certificate. Man came, little batch of test tubes, took the water out of the sink, put his little chemicals in, brown, like the Mississippi River in New Orleans. Awful. This is what's in your water. Okay. Let me tell you something about the water, especially in the villages. It's checked constantly. It's perfectly safe. Now, the water in Florida has a very high mineral content, high sulfur content. Maybe not the best thing in the world. It's hard water, but it's perfectly safe to use. If you don't like the water, all the new refrigerators have a water filter on it, or buy bottled water. What this character did, Charlie said, well, you know, I'll give you a whole new water filtration system for $1,800. Nah, I don't want it. All right, $1,200. Finally, I got him down to $600, and I told him, I'm not interested. Where's my Visa card? I don't have it with me. When am I going to get it? We'll mail it to you. About a month or so went by, I didn't get it. I called him up. Well, the program's gone. I called seniors. They called the company. I got my credit card. The water in the area, it's hard water. It's the water in Florida. You don't need an $1,800 water filtration system unless you want it. If you want it, fine. Again, the refrigerators have filtration systems on them. Perfectly good. I buy bottled water, and I'm happy with that. Anything else?
Any other questions?
One other thing. If you liked the talk I gave, please feel free to call any one of the offices and tell them what a great job I did. If you don't like the talk I gave, please call the head of our Speakers Bureau. Me. If you belong to any other organizations and think my talk might be useful, please see me. I'll give you one of my cards. I'll be more than happy to give the talk someplace else. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it. Can I have that one right there? I have a lady that wants this.
This?
Yeah, I think, yeah, thanks. I got it for you. All right, we're going to have a time of prayer, and then we're going to go eat ice cream. How's that? I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I really want to say thanks to Charlie. I appreciate his friendship, and I appreciate him coming out to speak to us tonight. Let's pray. Father, thank you so much for another beautiful day. Thank you for friendship I have with Charlie. Thank you for Seniors versus Crime, and may they continue to do a great job and help to keep seniors throughout the state of Florida safe from the scams that go on every single day. Father, we also just want to thank you for this time of ice cream social where we can just get together and communicate and fellowship and just sing praises to your name for all that you've done for us, and especially helping us to avoid scams to this degree. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, feel free to just walk out and go to the cafe counter. They'll have ice cream for you, and then there's a fixins table there, and put anything on it you want.